Players and playettes, how's your week 3? Good? Bad? If it was good, again, don't get too high. If it was bad, don't get too low. It's a whole bunch of weeks left. Okay? First off, let me just say I'm gonna reference and talk about the thumbnail towards the end of the video. So I'll just put that out there first and foremost. All right, let's talk about CMC real quick. Just a couple notes, not really, and then we're gonna jump right into waivers. Not gonna play around. CMC is, like most people know, he's avoiding the IR for now. But they kind of did that last year. They kind of was like, oh well, maybe he's gonna come back, maybe he's gonna come back, and then they IR'd him. So I wish him well. Hope he does come back, so he can come back for his team. But until then, Trouba Hubbard, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, he's going to be the main pickup, but shouldn't be the main pickup because my followers know when I did my running back list, top 12, and every time I reference CMC, I always said make sure you cuff Trouba if you decided to pick him. So he should never have been on people's waivers in the leagues that my supporters and followers play in. Okay? Well, granted, y'all probably didn't pick him, but even if you did, I'm sure you cuffed him because that was the main purpose. Yeah, so that's that. We'll see how long it lasts, and hopefully Trouba can do the same type of productivity that Mike Davis did, because Mike Davis did well. He tapered off towards the end, you know what I'm saying? Well, but he was a monster for like a good couple months, So let's just go with that, and hopefully if you drafted him and you have Trouba, and which you should, hopefully, you know what I'm saying, or if you pick Trouba, like let's say 9th or 10th round or something, after you're done getting the meat of your teams, because I know a player that did that. We call that cutting season. We call it cutting season, meaning where we're going to go and cut a person's elite running back up, like Trouba Hubbard, like Madison, and stuff like that. It's been done for years. And if that pops off, if that elite person pops off and that person's like elite and the automatic start type thing, we call it cutting season, like whenever you get to a certain part of the draft. But yeah, it was kind of funny just to kind of think about that real quick. Cutting season. All right. Top waiver ads of the week for this coming week to start week 4. By position. We're just gonna run through them real quick. I'm not trying to give you too much and make the video too long because y'all know how I can get. You know how I can get. All right, I'm gonna give quarterbacks. Listen, this guy has the most yards. He's not sexy, but in your somebody coming to get somebody. But in your less competitive leagues, in your less competitive leagues, he might be still out there, and which he shouldn't be because he put up some awesome weeks for the first 3 weeks, and that's Derek Carr. He's the league leader in yards passing. So he had 435, 382, and 386. That dude's throwing. He got hella weapons. One of the best tight ends in the game, reliable wide receivers that's playing. So yeah, he's putting up some good points. And the defense not elite or anything like that, so they get scored on, and he just throws, and it's working for him. They 3-0. So Derek Carr, if you're out there, go snatch him up. I'm sure he'll be a better. He's the number 5 quarterback in fantasy right there. Number 5. That's what's up. I hope he keeps it up. Whoever got him did draft him, picked him very late, so they got, they got a nice upside pick there. Second is Sam Darnold. Okay, now let me say something here. I talk trash about Sam Darnold, but I talk trash about the Sam Darnold at the Jets. And I've came to the understanding, I understand when people leave Jets and they leave Miami that they get better. It don't matter who they are, So that the same thing goes for Sam Darnold as well. He got 6 TDs in 3 weeks. Been rushing in touchdowns. He had like 23, and 30 points in the past three games, first 3 games. And he's the QB 12. So when you break it down, he's a QB1. Low-end QB1, but still, who would ever thought? And without McCaffrey, I think he'll be doing a lot more passing. But that's cool, though. I think he's good. He won't have the dump downs, but Trouba's fine. I think everything will work out for him. They play Dallas. If he can get out of there before they jump on his head, he can put up some nice yardage. Jalen Hurts still had 25 fantasy points last night when they got shellacked by Dallas. So it's still possible he can put up a good day. Running backs, Trouba Hubbard. We already know about him. We talked about him. Everybody's going to be trying to, get him on waivers. Probably the person that's lowest. So if you got a fab budget type thing where you're auctioning and placing bids on it, people are going to be spending a whole bunch of money on Trouba, which I don't know if that's really smart because I feel that even if CMC comes back, he's going to get hurt again. That's why I think it's going to be the same situation as last year. Especially if they give him keep giving him the workload. That's going to be a problem. Because I'm sorry, he's glass and he's just not that durable. People got to come to that realization. CMC's never did nothing to me. I've never had him. I never got crushed by him or anything. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about that. I'm just, calling it what it is. So Trouba Hubbard, number 1. Peyton Barber, number 2. He had 23 rushes for 111 and a touch. So he scored a lot of points, and he had 5 targets and 3 catches. Next 2 games is Chargers and the Bears, I believe. But we don't never know how long he's going to be the lead back, So, but hey, he was running. I remember that one time he was running towards the sideline like that. And he was running, and he was running going. However you're playing the video game and you press like the C button and the hand go down like that. And I was laughing, but that took a ran for like 20, 30 yards or something. Maybe he scored that play, I don't know, but that took a hit in the head. That's how you know a person running, when that head dart down like that. Boy, he was getting out. So, and the coach will ride him too. So I don't particularly I think he liked Marion Barber. But we'll see. We'll see how that pan out. If old boy come back, he's just gonna, split the workload. So that's gonna affect it. So be careful about that. Zach Moss, man, inactive game 1. He had a productive game 2 where he scored. He had like 13, 14, half-point PPR points, and then he scored again. He had like 2 touchdowns week 2, and then I believe it was a short yardage, and he scored again last week. But that dude's been balling. It seemed like he's taking it away from Singletary, and so that bodes well for him because this coming game they play the Texans. So he gonna eat, but you know how they go, man. It might be Singletary this week. You never know. One thing I do know, it'll be Josh Allen. So that's the thing there. So those are the 3: Trouba, Peyton, and Zach Moss. Those are 3 that I reckon that off top. But I would probably say you got the Texans and the Chiefs next. So we'll see what happens with that. Let's talk about Barlow Matt real quick. Him and the Colts have agreed to amicably, mutually agree to, seek a trade. So, I know my boy Jonathan Taylor ain't scored yet, you know what I'm saying? But he's the bell cow. I don't care what nobody say, and they just extended Naeem Hines, so there's no room for the dude, Plus he went like 5 carries for 16 yards, so and he just didn't tote too well either. So in the game that he actually got work in. So it is what it is. Hopefully he land with somebody that can use him, and he'll probably glass out again. So Royce Freeman. Listen, I think CMC is a long-term issue. That's my thing. That's what I believe. I ain't hoping. That's what I believe. But then Royce Freeman would actually be a cuff for Trouba, and we don't know how reliable Trouba is. So he might be reliable, he might not. He's a rookie. He's not that big. So, Royce Freeman is somebody that you keep an eye on if you got Trouba, if you got the space for him, if you really need that spot, if you really need that Carolina running back on your team, that protection. And let me talk. Look, I'm not advising you to go pick him up because he's just not dynamic. My beloved 49ers and Kyle Juszczyk. Okay, but let me circle back real quick. Let's talk about Sermon. Sermon, obviously he salvaged his day, with that goal line touchdown plunge. But Shanahan's a bastard, man. I'm pro Garoppolo. I was pro Garoppolo, but not anymore. That's almost a tongue twister. Not anymore, because I watched that game and it just don't have any zip on the ball. He don't run. He's like a statue, bonehead plays, and I just rather see that from the upside quarterback. You know, bringing him in and he beat the corner and get there. You know, nah, man, we need to start being more dynamic with the Niners. And until Shanahan get out his own way, Niners going. I don't want to say we're gonna continue to lose, but he gonna learn the hard way. All right, maybe just giving the boy every chance he can get, but it's time to make that switch if you ask me. Shanahan, Sermon got, 10, 11 carries and got the touch. He had about 10, 11, 12, fantasy points or something. He made it into double digits and had point PPR scoring, maybe even in standard, actually, I believe. But nevertheless, Shanahan started the game on offense with some play with with Juszczyk and either Ayuk or Debo in the backfield. They ran a little BS play, didn't get much, whatever, and then brought in Sermon. He purposely did some crap just so he didn't have to start Sermon. As much as I want to see him, look, I saw him from when he was in college, but I just feel as if he's running like he's on, like he's running on eggshells, like if he mess up any second now. And obviously the coach don't have the coach's confidence, and that's how he's playing. Plus he take them stupid ass gloves off too, but that's a totally different story. But so it'll be hard for me to say somebody to start him in a flex unless you really have to, man, because damn Shanahan, man, I'm not liking what he's doing. Wide receivers. Emmanuel Sanders, he balled out 5 for 94 and 2 touchdowns. Cordarrelle Patterson should have been on your pickups last week, but if he's still out there, snatch him up. He's somebody that can immediately go in as a flex. Deshaun Jackson, he's only going to be deep ball dependent, and as long as the Rams are playing great like that, they're going to look at him. The coach said that he wished that he got Deshaun Jackson, incorporated earlier. So but that's what he is. He's a deep shot guy. He's going to get you that 13 points in one whop. You know what I'm saying? That 60, 70-yard bomb. So he's an option in deep plays. It's going to be hit or miss, though. Tim Patrick for Denver. He's had 3 good games, 3 nice games. He's not explosive. He had, float around anywhere between 10, 11, 12 points and stuff like that. But he's not explosive. But, hey, that's hella good, wide receiver numbers and even the flex. News about Josh Gordon coming in and being signed to Kansas City Chiefs. Listen, I'm not going to talk too much about this. Josh Gordon can't stop smoking weed. And even if he does go there, he's going to be deep in the pecking order, so don't waste your pick on Josh Gordon. Don't waste your pick on Josh Gordon. Don't. No, you. Yeah, you. Take him off your waivers. Take him off. Pause the video. Take him off your waivers. All right. Nick Westbrook for Tennessee. He went 4 for 53 and a touch on 4 targets. Listen, he might, you got to be careful because, man, A.J. Brown's hurt. Julio got some crap going over there. They're going to lean on Derrick Henry hard, but somebody else is going to have to catch the ball. So, watch out for Nick Westbrook or another emerging wide receiver over there. All right, tight ends. Dalton Schultz, 6 for 80 and 2 touches. Man, that dude went off. He was the primary target last night. I don't know. Maybe it's because Hooper was hurt, and then Gallup was pretty much a deep target. Or maybe the Philadelphia linebackers just suck. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. So it could be they game plan for that type of stuff. Just like, Higbee finally balled out against Tampa Bay because they linebackers are susceptible to get beat by tight ends, just like they were the first 2 weeks. So it's all game plan dependent. Tyler Conklin at tight end, 7 for 70 and a touchdown. Dawson Knox, 4 for 49 and a touchdown. He's somebody I actually picked up and played him in my main league, and got got a good amount of points. So I got double-digit points out of him. And I suspended Higbee because of that 1-point performance last week. I knew Higbee was going to blow up, but when you suspend somebody, that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to blow up on the bench. But did I feel bad about it? No, but I already had my touchdown from Dawson Knox, but Higbee was supposed to ball out. Now, I might put him in the lineup this week. Might. All depends. He off suspension because he was on a 1-week suspension. Y'all got to learn how to start suspending your P players. And mind you, there's another quick tip. Whenever you get pissed off at your players, you say, oh, damn it, you suspended, right? If you say it mentally, definitely if you say it verbally out loud, you cannot go back on that suspension, because if you go back on that suspension, that player's going to have a dud for you. 0, 1, or 2 is going to make you wish you'd have never doggone uplifted that suspension. When you suspend somebody, you just got to stick with it. All right, just remember that for future references. All right, so those are tight ends: Dalton Schultz, Tyler Conklin, and Dawson Knox. Defenses this week that you can pick up is Bengals versus Jags, Titans versus Jets, Jets played horrible. And Saints versus Giants, but Saints is most likely already rostered. And Cowboys got a good matchup against the Panthers, but I'm sure they probably was already, but maybe not though. Who knows? Especially after they showed out last night. So, those are the defenses. And I believe that's everything. We went through the quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, and defenses. And listen, next week we're gonna have. After the game, week 4 games. I'm gonna do like a week. It's gonna be a quarterly assessment. I know it's to be like 16. That's half a quarter. That's like 16. But I'm still gonna do it after 4 games. It's gonna be like a quarterly assessment of rankings and where people at and who the surprises and what's what. So that should be a fun episode. Shouldn't be that long. And yeah, and I got a call right before I started this video. I had to answer it, and it was Chef. And Chef was like, he got some stuff going on, but he's going to finish it, and he's anxious to see you guys, and he has something good to show you guys for the Ham and Egger episode. I was like, hey, well, Chef, that's between y'all. You know what I'm saying? Don't, you ain't got to talk to me about it. I don't want to know nothing. You know what I'm saying? So he going to see y'all tomorrow. He's excited. So look forward to that tomorrow around about this time. Probably be around about 6 o'clock or 7. Whatever time he want to roll through. You know what I'm saying? I told him take his time because he's a good dude like that. I don't like rushing him. So, and that's the circle back for CMC. And I got this thumbnail up here, and it's not an indictment on CMC, but people need to start understanding that CMC is injury prone. And it's not the fantasy guys. I mean, the fantasy players that I'm up. I'm saying that I'm bothered with. It's the fantasy. It's the fantasy football content creators that they never tell y'all these type of things, and they never, like, oh, Christian McCaffrey, and they just jerk them and doggone, slob on them all the time. It's like, no, man. It's like, okay, he gonna put up good points when they're in there, but just be honest about him being able to, showing, having, being prone and apt to lay it down. Okay, and they didn't do that, and that bothered me. So again, I'm gonna keep tooting my own horn. I'm the only one that said Christian McCaffrey shouldn't be number 1. You know what I'm saying? I freaking said from the damn mountaintops. Just that damn simple. When you're right, you're freaking right. And you're not gonna be right all the time. Nobody is. But I don't play with that number 1 freaking pick. I don't play. Who did I say I picked number 1? I said I would pick Henry number 1. And I believe he's the number 1 running back right now. Okay? It's simple, guys. You know what I'm saying? It's like, don't make it harder than what it is. Just check out. Make sure, no matter if it's a wide receiver, if it's a tight end, if you got an injury risk, you have to factor that in. And I kind of put that thumbnail out and kind of needle the community that didn't adhere to that. Now, granted, y'all caught up to me and stuff like that, and I appreciate that. And love y'all, and I love y'all for it. But it's like, the other people needed to hear that too. They should have got in. They should have got lucky and fortunate, and for they could hear that word. So if they were enamored by him, they could have picked the backup and it'd have been good. Like, no, look, Trouba ain't on the waiver wire. Hell, he on my bench. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. So that's like I said, it's not an indictment on CMC. It's an indictment on the content creators that freaking were all over his nuts. Okay, that's my whole thing about it. So. That's that. I hope y'all enjoyed the breakdown for the waiver wire episode ads for upcoming week 4. And hope you all listen. It don't matter if you're 1-2, 2-1, 3-0, 0-3. Keep it going. Stay focused. And Jonathan Taylor play against Miami this week. Like, comment, and subscribe. This is Flawless Fantasy Football. Anthony Blake Jr. Let's get some W's and take it to the house. Peace.